Ready? Now we've got one more side to do. This isn't very much over here. We've done most of it on the other side, but we couldn't do our dipstick checks over there. So we have two dipsticks. Let me try to get that out. And this is my transmission, and the yellow one is my oil. So you don't physically do it, okay? Don't take them out, but you have to tell them how you would do it. One, you have to tell them the temperature. Oil will be done cool, and transmission would be done hot. How I would do that is remove the dipstick, wipe it clean, reinsert it, pull it out. I would take a reading. If it's below the fill line, then I know I need to add fluid. I would add the fluid as necessary, and I would make sure the dipsticks are replaced and there's no leaks. Okay. Then I'm going to go to these colorful air lines here. Okay. I don't know why, but that oil dipstick just makes me think colorful. So my colorful air lines are tight and secure. And you could again say no bulges, cuts, cracks, fraying, or leaking with those lines. Now, I'm going to borrow that phone for a second, and I'm going to try to zoom in here. Now this bus, the air compressor, let's see, right there. This one's silver. Most of them on the Cummins engine, this is a Detroit diesel, is red, but that one is a silver box right there. Okay, that's your air compressor. Then right in front of it, oh boy, let's see if I can get it in here. Oh, sorry, hold on. I can't see it too well yet. Oh, there it is. So let me point to it. See that bolt right there? So that silver looks like a filter shape. That is going to be your power steering pump. Actually, this hose right here runs down to it. So I have my air compressor and my power steering pump. They are both tight and secure. And keep it simple. They're not leaking, because the air compressor would leak air and the power steering pump would leak power steering fluid. Keep it simple. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to either do this or we're going to do this. I kind of like going to the fluid again. So I'm going to go to this fluid. So my power steering fluid, the reservoir is tight and secure. It is not leaking. Very important to tell. I can check this one either hot or cold, and I would add accordingly. Okay. Then I've already done my hoses on the other side, so I don't need to do them again. I'm going to do all my steering system. So my steering column is straight. It's tight and secure with little play at the U-joints. Okay. This is my steering gear box. There's gears in there that helps make the steering go easy. It is tight and secure, and it's not leaking. There's a gasket right there. We want to make sure that's not leaking. Then we have our Three Musketeers. So, ready? This is my Pitman arm. This is my drag link. And then we're going to go back here. I'm going to try to point to it. And that is my, reach up just a little bit and down. See that round bar there? Yeah, see that round bar right there? Runs tire to tire. That is your tie rod. Not your axle, but your tie rod. Okay? So, how I kind of remember these is my Pitman arm is your 5th grade boys that learn how to do that, right? My drag link here, if it fell to the ground, it would drag. And you don't want to be the weakest link, and it links it together, right? And of course my tie rod ties the tires together. Okay, so my Pitman arm, drag link, tie rod, they're all tight and secure. Of course, they're heavy metal, so they're not cracked, dented, or welded. And if you look at them, they're a little bent. So this one's bent right here. That one's bent just a little bit there. So we're going to add in that there's no unmanufactured bends. Okay, like we did for our mirror brackets. Okay. Now you can see that my castle nuts and the cotter pins or cotter keys. Okay, there's one there. There's one back here. And sometimes they do have paint on them because they've been torqued. And then you have one way back there. But we have 3 of them. They're tight and secure. They're not broken. They're not missing. And then one more thing. Back here on the side there is going to be your grease bushings. There is a grease fitting down in there. Okay, and there's one right in here. Okay, see how it's greased? All of that has to be greased so then you have easy steering, okay? You want to make sure that they're well greased and there's no debris in that area that's going to mess up on your steering, okay? And then I would check the rest of this bus the same as I did the other side. You don't have to name anything. That would be including your suspension, your brakes, and your tire, but you don't have to name anything, okay? You just have to do what you can't do on the other side. And that is the end of your pre-trip.